Cool.
All right, come on, you irons. It's been a while, but we're bringing back the interviews with American Hammers. Trying to unearth American West Ham supporters. That's what we did in the beginning. That's what we start. That's what we started this channel on. So anyway, we're bringing that back between Katie doing Hometown Hammer, which is essentially the same thing, and then I got bored doing nothing with this channel, so I'm back, and I'm gonna bring back the interviews. I'm even bringing back Wayne McMullen's rapid fire questions at the end, which is kind of fun. So shout out to Wayne and West Ham is Why We Drink, that podcast. Go check that out if you can. Yeah. So anyway, without further ado, our guest today is Zac. Zac's in New England, so that's cool. I mean, me and Lee, we're from Massachusetts. We're the founders of this, and but yeah, it's cool to meet other people from New England. But yeah, so how the hell did you become a West Ham supporter?
I was kind of a poser to start, I'll be honest. I was always into music, played in a bunch of bands and stuff. And my favorite bands was Cockspar, Cockney Rejects, Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And it's kind of embarrassing, but I was into rep in West Ham before I even saw a game. I was oh yeah, no, be like your heroes, right? And but then as it became more accessible and I started seeing more West Ham games on TV, it was okay, well I gotta watch it. I got the jerseys, got the scarves, I gotta watch it. And then yeah, you got hooked.
Yeah. All right, well, I lost you for a second. I'm sorry. But yeah, so basically, listen, the stories that we hear, everything from, you lost me too? Can you hear me, man? All right, if anyone's in the chat, let me know if you can see me or hear me. I see Darren in the chat. Technical difficulties. It's been a while for me, so hold on. I can see and hear you. Oh, okay. Matt can see and hear both of us. That's awesome. All right. So sorry for the delay. I guess I can't see Zac anymore, but I can hear him. Oh, there he is. Oh, no, he's gone again. It's been a while. All right. I'm going to tell Zac to leave and come back in. And then you can hear me bullshit for a few minutes. All right, cool. All right, well, Matt, good to see you. Darren, good to see you. There's Darren. Hey, Darren, what's going on? Thailand, man. Ooh, I'm freezing my ass off here in Massachusetts, so I'm kind of jealous. It must be warm there. Matt, awesome to see you, brother. Darren, awesome to see you, brother. Nothing's changed. Yeah. Same old Tim. Yeah. All right. Well, I told him to leave and come back, so hopefully that fixes the issue. But oh, I see him. All right, there we go. Dun, dun, dun,
I can hear you now.
All right, cool, awesome. So, like you were saying, I wouldn't necessarily be embarrassed about that, story, because that was the reason why we did this. I mean, our first question was always, how did you get to be a West Ham fan? And honestly, everybody who watches these, that's their favorite part, finding out how the hell people, especially Americans, how'd you get in? We've heard everything from Green Street Hooligans to the movie, getting them into it. Me personally, it was the IT crowd. I mean, I played Football Manager was the only game I had on my Macintosh at the time, right? My Mac at the time. It was the only sports game I could play was Football Manager. And then I saw the crossed hammers and the colors. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's from fucking IT crowd. Hell yeah. And then I did more research and found out that, families from London whatever. Anyway, so it just it felt right. You know what I mean? And then everything, just the colors, the badge, the history, Paulo Di Canio, all the way, Bobby Moore. I mean, the whole history of the club itself to Tim's Ironworks. It just the more and more I dug, it felt right. So again, I've heard so many different stories. So like,
I agree too. And like the logo, it was even like the logo of one of my favorite bands was like awesome. Like the Hammers was perfect. It was like the color, exactly what you're saying, the colors and everything. And then I remember the first time I saw Iron Maiden and Steve Harris was wearing the West Ham shirt, and he had the bass and everything. I was like, oh, this is so sick.
Yeah. And again, I mean, that's honestly, we've heard that a lot. So we have, I'd say at least 7. Am I breaking up here? I can see myself breaking up. Can you hear me good?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. As long as you can hear me, that's all I care about. So we've had at least 7 different people that we've interviewed say that, it was punk music or, hardcore or, oi or whatever that, is from Americans anyway, that they love that. And that's what introduced them to West Ham. We've had a lot of that. We've also had, the movies, like I said, Green Street Hooligans and stuff like that. A lot of those too, but doesn't matter. You're here. And honestly, like I've gone to many different supporters groups all over the country. I visited, Dallas. I visited Tampa, DC, Philly, Columbus, Boston, obviously. But yeah, it's good people, man. I mean, we're all unique because we're not glory hunters. We're not, bandwagoners, So it seems to be cool. But so, do you know any other? I mean, do you personally know any other West Ham supporters?
Yeah, I mean, so like I go to a lot of the MLS games, like the Revolution, and so you meet like everyone's got their team. Like you got a lot of Liverpools, you got a lot of Chelseas, sure, but there's a couple of us over there, and I know the Banshee Bar in Dorchester, like they do they host the Boston Hammers. I live in Rhode Island, so I don't go up there a whole lot, but and then there's the Brass Monkey down here in Providence. There's a few of us in there.
Oh, really? Down there in Rhode Island?
Not many, but
no, I know, but still, that's more than I thought. I mean,
yeah, and then. I mean, it's one of those things too, where it's like when if you go somewhere and like you're wearing a hat or something, there's always one person who will see it and be like, "Oh man, West Ham, that's awesome." So
yeah, man, finding one randomly in a grocery store, up in New Hampshire, that was bizarre. Just wearing a fucking West Ham hat. I mean, that was the coolest shit. But
yeah, we one of my band, we played a show, man. I want to say it was up in New Hampshire, actually, but I have a West Ham sticker on my guitar. And like 4 guys from England were in town that night, and they came up and they're like, "Oh, West Ham, that's awesome!" So it was cool.
That is cool. What's going on, Black Country? Hello, Matt. I'm sorry, Martin. Martin's here. Helen's here. Good stuff. The chat room's pretty good. This is cool about doing these earlier shows. We get a lot of our UK viewers, they get an opportunity to see them. When we do our shows at 9 and 10 at night, they're asleep. So, or they'll catch it in the morning. That's why our numbers always show that people view it after the fact. Because, even 70% of our viewers are from the UK. They're not European, so. But hey, yeah. So going back to Rhode Island real quick. I didn't really know. We did a couple different searches. But also we did, like, I don't know, once every few months we'll post on social media saying, hey, where are you? Like, where are you from? Like, this is a roll call. Like, let us know where you're from so we can kind of connect the dots here.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen Rhode Island pop up, man. I think I've seen one Connecticut person. But anyway, I mean, it's really cool to hear, cool to see. And, so if anybody here wants to head down to Rhode Island for a match, man. So what pub did they go to?
That was Brass Monkey, and then I think it's Murphy's. It's a Liverpool bar, so not the best, but they'll usually throw on a screen for you.
As long as they give you volume.
Because they don't always do.
I hear that a lot. I hear there's a few West Ham supporters clubs that they have to deal with that issue. That sounds like a shitty time. But another cool thing is that a lot of the supporters groups, I know Columbus is doing it. I know Fresno is going to be doing it. They've done it actually a few times. And even I think the Mile High Hammers has done it at least once or twice, but in Denver. But they do the away days, right? Well, they'll go to the opposing team's bar in town.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, which is kind of cool. You know, it's kind of like, they're the closest thing they have to an away day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but
I'm originally from Denver, actually. So I keep seeing that come up. I'm like, where was that when I was there?
Yeah, Celtic on Market, I think it's called. It's a newer bar, I think, actually, a pub or whatever. I think maybe like 4 years. I'm not sure. But that, as far as I know, it's a newer one, and they get some decent numbers.
That's awesome.
So if you ever go back there, man, that's where you go. Celtic on Market. Yeah, and then there's awesome group in St. Louis, Amsterdam. I just had a question from a UK viewer that sent us a direct message asking, "Hey, I'm coming over. My family's in St. Louis. Where do we go?" And I'm like, "Oh, you go to the Amsterdam in St. Louis, So that's another reason that we do this, is trying to give people an opportunity to hang out with other supporters. So music, man. You talked music earlier. So what kind of band you in? What are they called? What kind of music is it?
So it's a hardcore band, like hardcore punk. We're called Sick Minds. So we're based out of Boston.
Oh,
but
cool.
We all kind of live like all around Boston. I'm the only one out of state, but yeah, we actually have an album coming out too, I think in like 2 weeks. So
cool. So let's check you out on social media then, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because I noticed that I saw you had a flyer there, an older flyer anyway. It said that you opened for, or is it new? I can't remember. You opened for or opening for Agnostic Front, or did you?
Okay, so that's an old one.
Okay.
That one's an old one. That was a couple years back. But we did just play with Comeback Kid and Avoid One Thing, and we also just played with who was the other? Murphy's Law.
Oh, right on. Yeah. Cool, man. This is a funny comment from Martin, actually. He says, "My wife's worst nightmare is meeting another hammer on holiday. She knows we'll get on, and she will see less of me because I'll be talking West Ham with my new mate." Yeah. There you go, man. But hey, if you want to know where to go when you get here, let me know, and I'll steer in the right direction. Just don't tell your wife. Yeah. So have you ever been over?
No. So I was going to go over the year of the that they were going to tear down the bowling, and didn't work out. Just too many it was a busy year. And then my wife and I were going to plan. So we got married 2 years ago, and we still haven't really taken our honeymoon because of COVID. So we were like, let's do England, and we were trying to plan it. Like we were trying to match up the dates where it was I think we were going to see Villa at home and then see Tottenham away.
Yeah.
It's like, this is going to be perfect. But now with the numbers rising and everything, I don't think it'll be this year, but I mean, hopefully soon.
Dude,
I did see him play in Chicago. Is that right? It was like 7 years ago. Columbus, that was it.
Yeah, Columbus. That was an interesting match. A lot of rowdy people in the crowd. Columbus, man, those guys. I don't know, man. Every time I've ever gone to Columbus, with the exception of this most recent time, but every time before that, there was always something crazy that happened. Either Dimebag Daryl died that day, or I went to an Ozfest out there, and the day before, there was a big fire at the venue. I mean, those people are freaking crazy out there in Columbus, man. I don't know. I love our Columbus Hammers, though. I do. What the hell was I gonna say, man? So the last match that I went to over there was January 2020, the end of January. So I always schedule. I've gone over twice, and both times I made sure that I booked a 10-day trip, and I made sure that it was 2 home matches squeezed in within there. Sometimes that happens; they'll do it back to back. Yep. I would love to do a home and away, man. Trust me, I would love to go away day. But the first time I went was 2018, and I saw what did I see? I saw it was like last 2 home matches of the season. It was Man United, and it was the most boring fucking draw in the world. And David Moyes was manager. Into that season. It was a 17-18 season. And man, that was boring. And then the last home match, man, they fucking destroyed Allardyce Everton. It was 3-1. It was awesome. Beautiful goals, great day, beautiful day. And then this last time I went, I saw us. It was Liverpool, man, and even it was Liverpool, and then we lost that match, and then we drew to Brighton. We were up like 3-1, and then they came back and drew, and that was just as soon as I get out of my seat to go meet a few people that I had seen before. Like, oh, they scored again. Oh, they scored again. And that sucked. But this most recent trip that I went, I remember the movie on the plane was fucking Contagion. I don't know if you Google Contagion, people in the chat, like the movie, the film, like there was already like some rumblings about some possible leakage, something leaked out of China, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm seeing this movie in the flight and I'm seeing people, this is like right before the pandemic, literally right before the pandemic. And then, so I was lucky to squeeze that trip in, but man, not the movie to watch.
No, it's a terrible one.
Oh, shit. So my buddy Gary is in the chat. My buddy Gary Perridge from, sorry, I dropped my controller. Gary from South Carolina. He's the, Holy City Hammers, man. He's a nut, dude. I love him to death. And we'd had him on our show a bunch of times. We had story time with Gary. He had some awesome stories. So I convinced him to, go with me. I mean, we didn't take the same flight, but we both went over there together. So at least we knew for sure, like someone. Gary Perridge. Quick view. Yeah, we're talking about you, brother. Man, let me tell you, that guy is awesome. You want to have a fun time, man. Gary's your fun time guy. And also, if you're down in South Carolina, Charleston, visit the Holy City Hammers. I believe they have a group in Myrtle Beach as well. This group's everywhere, man. It's just obviously COVID and stuff like that. Some groups are decided to like hold off, and some other groups are like, man, whatever. If you're vaxxed, you're vaxxed. Let's do it, But whatever. I mean, it's up to the groups, up to your own personal, whatever. But there's still some groups getting decent numbers, and as long as they're happy and healthy, like there you go. Let's see here. Let's just pull up some comments real quick before we talk about this current season with you. So Matt says, I must admit, a few years ago, I did meet a Millwall fan on holiday. What? Where? There's no such thing, Matt. Millwall fan. Wow. Do tell. So impressive scarf collection. Very nice selection, says Paul. Paul's one of our good viewers, too. He's talking about your scarf collection, obviously. I don't have any here. So that's cool, man.
I actually, I think it was the first thing I ever bought online, to be honest, was for the FA Cup. It was the Liverpool West Ham. And I bought the scarf like maybe a week or 2 weeks before. And then it got delivered to my place the day after the match. And, we just moved to our new house. So I was unpacking and I found the scarf. It had been buried for like 15 years. Never saw it today for 15 years.
That's awesome, man. Let's see here. Last game I saw was a Carabao Cup match with Man City. Yeah, Matt, I'm jealous of you, man. You let us know all the time. You go to all these freaking games, man. But I'd love to see a game with you. I'd love to meet you, Matt. You've been a viewer for us for a long time. I keep it quiet, but two of my best mates are Millwall. Oh boy. Great blokes, and they just know nothing about football. Clearly. Listen, I can understand that maybe they're like the anti, glory hunter. They're like, you know what? We're not just an anti-glory hunter. We're like, who do you hate the most? Like, who's the shittiest option here? Let's take them because nobody likes us. Now, obviously, that's their can't. So,
and you know what? It takes a lot. It takes a lot of character to root for a team that'll never win.
Yeah. Either or no soul.
Or
a bit of both. I don't know. Just a few more comments, man. Let's see here. Oh shit. Never mind. Yeah, I having difficulty with my my remote. Anyway, but yeah. So thanks everybody. Keep chatting away amongst yourselves as well. I'll try to pull them up if I can get my remote to work. But anyway, let's talk about this season, or even last season. Let's just talk about Mr. Moyes' West Ham. Like, what do you think about this change of form? I mean, well, with the exception of the most recent form, but the last couple of seasons. What do you think about this resurgence of Moyes and his will?
This is the most fun I've had watching them. Without a doubt. I was joking about it with my wife the other day. I was like, it's not funny when they lose anymore. It was like such a joke at one point. It's like, yeah, whatever, they lost, big deal. And now I realize how bummed out I get watching those games and they lose. It's like, man, I don't remember getting this bummed out before, but it's because they actually got something to play for. So it's great. I mean, this is the most fun I've had being a West Ham fan.
Yeah. It was when I stopped doing shows for a little while when we started doing well again. So that's also half the reason why I stayed away. And now that our form's starting to dip again a little bit, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm back. Let's go. But yeah, man, listen, the Pellegrini tenure, like that was like the beginning of our channel, really. And it was just fucking miserable. Every freaking week. I mean, I whatever. Stress level. Everybody's tone. We're trying to have a good time talking West Ham, but there was nothing good to talk about except maybe the past. But that was.
I gotta say too, it was like you think about like the form of recent years. Basically, like I'm talking like pretty much a week after Premier League started back up after COVID, and they were playing great. They avoided relegation, then they qualified for Euros. But when they were, playing in that form, it gave you something to kind of just root for, in such a shitty time.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I mean, I've always been this weird. I've always had this weird mentality. Even when I first started supporting West Ham, I'm like, I don't know if it's like an American thing or what it is, but I'm like, you play. There's no excuse for these guys to not give a shit every day. Like, what are they doing? Like their form, shouldn't dip. I mean, sure, we should have shittier players than the opponent. Okay, I understand. Well, but still, we should go out there and try to win, not try to draw. Or I mean, that was like an Allardyce mentality too. Like when he played the big clubs, it would always be like
super defensive.
Oh, I'm so happy for the draw.
Yeah.
Like really? You go win. Let's go. Let's try. Let's do whatever. Like, everybody loses, dude. I mean, what I'm saying? Like, well, the exception of Arsenal, years ago. But I mean, but my point proven. Like literally every season, teams lose, dude. You know what I'm saying? So why can't we be that team to take over the other team? But anyway, that mentality just destroyed me.
Yeah.
For years watching West Ham, man. But now all of a sudden we've the last two seasons we've done very well, for the majority, and now the expectation, even amongst newer fans too, like there's also newer fans that are coming into this being like, okay, wow, this is West Ham, they're winning, let's go, and let's see them beat these big teams, and then we lose to the shitty teams. I mean that's like old school West Ham, beat the good guys, lose the shitty guys,
And I think this year's super important for us too, because continued success, that's how you build the bank to buy the new players and things like that. And, get some money from Europa League, you qualify again, or Champions League or whatever. And now all of a sudden, maybe Rice wants to stick around, things like that. And, I think this year is really important for us though, to finish top four would be great. But I mean,
I still can't even comprehend that we'd even say that out loud because we're so not used to that. And even the guys in the chat are saying the same thing. I mean,
we got
teams always West Ham, same old West Ham.
You got Tottenham kind of not playing Big Six style. You got same thing with Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal's been playing much better, but it's like, it's ours for the taking to get up there.
Yeah. Yeah, and oh man, listen, there's a lot of good valid points in the points in the chat, but yeah, you're right. As long as we don't lose the Spurs, right? That's really what matters most. because we don't even play with fucking Millwall, so that's not even a question. It's funny though. I do follow. Do you follow the other leagues like Championship, League One? I mean, do you follow like maybe who might be coming up type of deal to the Premier League or
a little bit? I'll be honest, it hasn't been a whole lot lately. I guess a little bit though here and there.
Yeah,
I mostly like. I don't really know the standings off the top of my head right now.
No. I know. I'm just saying, like just keep an eye on it. You know what I'm saying? For example, Millwall's there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I always check to see where the hell they are. I'm like,
I always do.
I hope they don't even come close. But yet I'm looking and like, yeah, sure, they're mid-table, but like they're only like 6 points from playoffs, which is 2 wins.
That's one thing. Like, I'll look up those teams like Swansea and like Millwall, things like that. Like I'll look for those big teams, like bigger teams.
Yeah. And then also I try to keep an eye on like, who's in the playoffs, who's going to be near the playoffs, who could potentially, be in the league next year. It looks like Newcastle might be one of the definites to go down. It's fucking bizarre, but I would expect
that's going to be huge too. I mean, look at their January transfer window and see what happens. Like, see who they're buying and stuff like that. It'll be a telltale of where they'll.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if it was going to be like, emergency buys now that they especially have the money. All right. Well, looks like we got Mr. Gary's back from his little break. Says, Tim, I'm going to be doing a few road trips in the very near future, so we can grab a beer or 3 when I'm up your way. I don't know, man. I think maybe we should have some seltzer and Red Bull or something. I don't want to burn down where I live. You know what I mean, Gary? Like, if we're going to have fun, we got to have fun not where we live.
Is Gary South Carolina?
Yeah, this is Gary, South Carolina, man. I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay, no. My very good friends, they're in a hardcore band, Fire and Flood. Very good band.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I think I've seen them or heard them. Yeah, I think I might have seen them. All right, so we have real quick. Originally from Kent, now living in Nottingham. Anyone else in the UK, Black Country? I know roughly where you are, mate. Especially if you got a ticket to the Wolves game. Away end, I guess. Yeah. No, I'm glad these people are listening. This is the best part about this channel, dude. Like, watching everybody communicate in the chat room as well. Even amongst each other and stuff like that. Oops. There we go. 1 second. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's talk about some of your, favorite players, man. Like,
I mean,
yeah,
Julian Dix is my Are you talking all time? Or
no, all time. Yeah,
Julian Dix is up there. Like, I think he's my number one. I always liked Paul Konchesky, Bobby Zamora, definitely up there. And then, I mean, I don't know if it's just because he's been around forever and like I feel like comfort when he's there, but Mark Noble.
Yeah. No, it's solid choices, man. We actually interviewed, me and Lee, I think it was, interviewed Paul Konchesky, man. Fucking awesome dude. Awesome guy. I think he works in the academy now, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I think he's he's an academy coach now for the club. So it's great to have him back. But yeah, man, awesome, solid dude, I love that. I love that about
super cool. Yeah. I don't know if it was on Instagram or someone like posted something. He was like a plumber was doing work in his house. And I was like, I guess Paul Konchesky was like super cool and like gave him a shirt and everything. It was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was
man. For me, it was James Tompkins and Jack Collison, just because I have an affinity for academy. You know what I mean? And coming through. And especially guys who, especially when I first started following West Ham, they were those guys that were coming up. They were the Declan Rice. I mean, well, not necessarily, but I mean, they were like, they were the guys at the time, like the big ones coming out of the academy, and they stuck around and had quite a few senior matches with the team. And yeah, those are my dudes. And plus, I love defenders. I love defense, and that's also why Julian Dix, like yourself, man. You know, I love that guy. You know, I wish, and we almost interviewed him. We had an interview set up with him, and then he got the fucking West Brom job, you know, with Slavin like a week later, so he couldn't do it. He was too busy. But then obviously that, you know, he left that, and he's been doing all these other shows. We're like, we're not going to beat a dead bush, but I still would love to interview Julian at some point because, again, he's a fucking legend. So, yeah, Tony Cotty, another guy. I see that in the chat. Yeah, I met him personally at one of the West Ham matches. He has time for everybody. Marlon Harewood, another guy, Harewood. Time for everybody. And it was great. Carlton Cole, time for everybody. Like you go up to them, speak to them, they communicate right back to you. No big deal. You're not bothering them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Carlton Cole's another one too.
Oh yeah. That's Lee's number one, I think. My co-founder. Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's get into these rapid fire questions. And this is old school. So if you've been following us in the chat, if you guys in the chat room, girls in the chat room, whatever, if you've been following us for a while, you may remember some of these. I mean, these are the same exact questions, but it's kind of fun. So number one, Zach, and again, you can take your time. You can elaborate if you choose. Doesn't matter to you, right?
It's not super rapid fire.
Some of them are. Well, yeah, that's what it used to be. It used to be called like the not so quick fire questions. Yeah, but especially when Lee used to do them. Oh my God. But anyway, love you, Lee. All right, meat pie or apple pie?
Apple pie.
Right on. That's usually the answer, but we will get the occasional American that'll say meat pie because they just fucking hate apples for some reason. I don't know. Oh yeah, and pardon my language, everybody, but you guys, you must remember this, right? If you watch the show and you follow the channel, you subscribe, you must know that I have a foul mouth. But anyway, all right. So who's your favorite current West Ham player?
I mean, Noble. I guess that would be that. But current one that I'm really liking, Ben Johnson right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Good choice. Who frustrates you the most in the current squad?
Suchek.
Really? Yeah.
Masuaku did the last match, but I think Suchek overall right now. It's like you either love him or you hate him. There's very little middle ground right now.
I know. It sucks because he's got all the talent in the world, man. It just can he put his head with his ability.
And Ben Love is getting under my skin a bit right now, but he played so well at the start that I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, we got people playing along. It looks like Matt says meat pie. Of course, he's from England, so yeah, he's going to say that. In Fornals. Is Fornals your favorite player in the current West Ham squad, Matt, or is the person who frustrates you the most? Oh, I'm guessing Ben Rama frustrates him the most, so Fornals is his favorite. That makes sense. Yeah, Fornals. Like he's one of those guys that he has an amazing game, and then all of a sudden you're like, was he even on the team sheet today?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that type of guy. So, would you rather have? Oh, you know what, dude? These questions, I gotta revamp these questions. These are all. So this is back when these were invented. Back when we had like Pellegrini as manager, obviously. So there was like no fucking chance.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was frustrated with everybody in the squad. And also, this next question: would you rather have an FA Cup win, the trophy, right, or a top 6 finish? So we've already done that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But these were invented before that. So how about this? Would you rather win the FA Cup or a top 4 finish?
I would really like to see a trophy. But I think a top 4 would go a little bit further. I think that would mean a lot more.
You know, and honestly, I think it's virtually
I would say
40. I wouldn't say 50-50. I think it's, if I remember correctly, it was 60-40 because a lot more people want the trophy. But then there's also those others, like, you know what? Like getting in the Champions League, like that would be massive. But obviously, like when we invented these questions, or Wayne did, we wouldn't have been able to handle Champions League. So, you know, if we got into the Champions League, we're like, oh shit, we don't have the strength, we don't have the depth, we don't have nothing. But now,
And that, but that's the other concern too, is like, okay, so we're like matching up okay in England, but what are we gonna have to do when we have to play PSG? Because that's the group we get.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Welcome to the Champions League.
Yeah. So
see ya.
So as cool as it would be, I would really like to be able to have that picture of them lifting up a trophy on my wall.
Yeah. Yeah. What about West Ham? Do you love? Could be. It's a general question. It could be anything. There's no specific like what you could love about it. I mean, what's something that you do love about West
Ham? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, it's weird. It's like the crest, the colors and everything. And
yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's given me comfort for so long. Like I said, like the Iron Maiden and Cockspar, Cockney Rejects, like Billy Bragg, all those old guys like who used to like it. And I don't know, like, and so like being an American kid growing up in middle America, like that was like, it was so cool. It was like so foreign. It's like, oh, this is awesome. And then I guess I've like seen it so long. It's just like so much comfort. So maybe just like, I don't know, like, I hate to say it, but just like, I guess like the visual, like, I don't know, I guess like the
listen, that was part of it for me as well. So, and I've heard that answer before. So, but the number one answer usually is the supporters itself. I mean, this is for like people who, the majority of the people that we used to speak to used to either run supporters groups or they would always attend supporters groups like every week. You know what I mean? So the fact that the support is so cool, and the actual West Ham supporters themselves, for the most part, are cool. That's usually what they love about West Ham. And also just watching it on TV or going to a match itself. Witnessing 50,000, 60,000 West Ham supporters singing Bubbles, man. I mean, I don't give a shit how far away you are when you're all in that ring, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it, man. There's no American sport or American sporting event that can compare to 60,000 West Ham fans singing Bubbles, dude. Like before a match, there's just nothing. I don't give a shit.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm real, man. I'm like itching to get there. We were really.
You got it, man. Well, the other thing here, I tried going to the bowling as well that last season, and just like you, man. I mean, it was just impossible. First and foremost, I mean, flights themselves were like $1,000 more than they were 2 years ago. Anyway,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, dude? I'll never forget. Not last year. It was 2020, right? Yeah, I paid like $365 for a round trip direct flight. Like $365 round trip to London. Like that's insane. I can't even go to California for $365. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was insane. So, and that was like, again, direct. So I don't know. Anyway, that was awesome.
Can I actually tell you it's probably my favorite West Ham story as far as like watching a game, because it involves the last game at bowling. So I was living in Winthrop, Mass at the time. And I went to a bar in East Boston, and it was I was with that I was the only one there who could speak like fluent English, so I don't even remember the name of the bar.
Boston, yeah.
But they must have had like 10 TVs on, and I forget who was playing. It was Spanish League, I think, was going on. So most of the people were there, and they very kindly hooked me up with a TV in the corner to watch the last game at the bowling. And what was cool was it started out just me in the corner watching it. And then as like people came up, like, oh, what's this? It's like, oh, this is the last game. Like they're tearing down, the stadium, things like that. And all of a sudden that whole bar became West Ham fans for the day.
That's awesome.
And everyone was like rooting on it. And then next thing, like for the second half, it was on all the major TVs we had volume.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And then they won. I mean, that must have been electric when that winner went in. You know what I mean?
It was, and and that's like I think that's the closest like I've come to like that kind of like environment with West Ham.
Yeah, you're in a small space with a lot of people, and then you're all that must have been electric, dude. Yeah, absolutely. And that's also half the reason why these people, in America, like they get together and watch these matches together so that they can at least have a tiny piece of that. But when it's even if it's 20 people, or if it's or even if it's 3 people, and you guys are in a corner, man. I mean, that's awesome when we do well, obviously.
And I feel like it's teams like West Ham, they kind of like bring that out too, where like I'm a carpenter. I work with a bunch of Portuguese guys, but now all of a sudden they follow West Ham. I feel like closer than I do, because they're talking about like Benfica and Porto and stuff, and
yeah,
I'm talking about West Ham. But now they've all kind of adopted West Ham as their English team.
That's awesome, man. All right, so what about West Ham do you hate?
Owners.
Hey.
I can't believe we have owners that made money from porn, and I hate them.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah, in lingerie.
Yeah, I can't believe I hate that.
Yeah.
Here we are.
They've already owned, another club, and then one of the owners came out a long time ago and said that Cardiff was his team. You know what I'm saying? And then he owned Birmingham City, and then all of a sudden, but no, West Ham's our love. We're East London boys. Yeah, whatever. And you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna soak up all this. Look what we did. We did this because West Ham is doing well under our tenure. Look at we told you we're gonna get you in Europe. There we are. There we go. We did it.
And I still maybe it's me. I still haven't gotten over like watching the game on TV, and you see that track around. Like you don't see the fans so close to the goal. Like you see it's like that track from the Olympics, and it still hasn't visually I still haven't fallen in love with that new stadium. Like the visual of watching it on TV. It was great when the fans were right there.
Gary in the chat and we did a stadium tour with another guy that's usually in the chat, a good friend of ours, Steve Mothersoul from England. And we get to literally do the whole tour, and then we get to put the headphones on, and we get to walk out the tunnel onto the pitch and just look, man, and it was, in some spots it didn't really feel like the fans were that far away. Our main concern was the fact that when we were getting a tour of upstairs and we could look down beneath the stands, you could look beneath the stands and see fucking zip ties holding this shit together. And I mean, no joke, dude. I wish we took pictures. Gary must have taken pictures. He was all obsessed with that too. It was a fucking shit show, dude. You know what I mean? And they gave more of a shit about the luxuries, the boxes, right? The corporate boxes, and then the corporate restaurant and the corporate bathrooms and all that shit was beautiful, gorgeous. You know what I mean? I'd love to be there. You know what I mean? Just for shits and giggles. But but no, man. Honestly, when Gary and I went, we went. I think it was the Liverpool match. Thanks to our good friend. Our good friend, Jesus Christ, my fucking brain. Jesus Christ. Anyway, our good friend gave us tickets. We had we were like 4 rows back. I mean, there was only 4 fucking people, or 3 people, 3 rows in front of us. We're in the corner, and it felt close. I mean, sure, we couldn't really make eye contact with the goalkeeper. You know what I'm saying? It was that was kind of far away and shit. But I mean, when they came over to do a corner kick, I mean, it was great. Yeah, whatever. But anyway, all right, let's get back to questions. Gee, I got to redo all these, man. All right, so what's your favorite curse word?
I mean, fuck's a good one. Cunt's a really good one, though.
I hear every time I go to London, man. I hear that one a lot. Cunt and twat, yeah.
Yeah. That one still got some punch here in America.
Yeah. Oh, Nick. There you go. Thank you, Gary. Jesus Christ, man. Nick Tucker. Fucking, I love that man. He runs the West Ham Facebook group, West Ham Metalheads. Awesome group. They post some cool videos and try to give each other, different Spotify playlists on, or they'll have competitions or you can polls where you can vote on, which metal guitarist is better than the other one. And it's just really cool, fun group if you're into metal.
Big time. I got the Steve Harris's bass. It's not his actual bass, but he just came out with his signature base, and it's got the West Ham.
Yeah.
Got that.
Yeah. Fucking bastard. I want that. Yeah. Yeah, I saw you have an ESP too, like a nice looking Viper, a nice green one. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you see that?
On Instagram.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like your last post, I think. Right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
You're like, oh, man.
I was like, looking around.
I'm in your room, dude.
So I got that. That was my main guitar forever, and now I got a Reverend. It's the exact same color, like similar shape. I can't remember the guy's name. It's the guitarist from Code Orange. It's his like signature model.
Oh, cool.
But,
yeah. So I noticed the Viper because I'm an ESP nut. Like I fucking love ESP. Like I love. There's no better, in my opinion. I love the feel, the structure, the everything, and how I don't know. I just love ESP guitars. But Gary also mentions Nick Tucker runs a group called Crossed Hammers, which they have a website you can check out. Check out Crossed Hammers. They're on Facebook and actually they're all over social media. But Nick is the greatest fucking dude, man. Nick Tucker, man. He hooked us up really good when we went over there, and he's helped a lot of other Americans as well, like looking for tickets and stuff. So. All right, Fremer joined us. What's going on, dude? Haven't seen you in a while, my man. And Matt Martin actually says, not a fan of London Stadium. I cried when I left the Boulogne. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think a lot of you have, but unfortunately, I never got to go to the Boulogne, and it kind of like every time I think about how I missed an opportunity to go there, and the fact that I'll never be able to go there or experience that again, it just makes it worse, really. I don't want to think about that. All right, so what team do you love to beat the most as West Ham? Like, I mean, which team do you love? If you could just beat one fucking team over and over and over and over and over again, who would it be?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Okay, we've heard that one a bit.
I don't know what it is. I hate Chelsea more than Tottenham. I think they're the team I hate the most.
Yeah.
Hands down. It's like I'm supposed to root for like Christian Pulisic, right? Because American. I don't even like him on the fucking national team anymore. I fucking hate that team.
Yeah, man. Listen, Chelsea's come up quite a bit. You know, there's a lot of guys even from London. I mean, if they don't say the obvious, like the Millwall or Tottenham, they say that. I said Man United, mainly because they're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we get to play them all the time. And I'm talking like Barcelona, Real Madrid, like as in you and I can walk into fucking Kmart, well, not anymore, but we could walk into like Walmart and get a fucking Man United shirt or jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit is everywhere. So and also the fact that like, I mean, this is all over the world too. So the fact that I can make, or West Ham can make some random little child cry in some, third world country or something like that, wearing a Man United shirt, like, because, they should have, West Ham, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to be fucking West Ham. You got to be like, but not just that. I'm just saying, like, there's millions and millions and millions of Man United supporters, and every time we beat them, they're all crying.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. There's more of them than there are Spurs supporters. So that means when we beat them, there's more of them that are upset at West Ham. More pissiness. But yeah, my real choice would be Tottenham because I fucking hate Tottenham supporters, especially American Tottenham supporters.
Yeah,
they're the absolute worst. Lee will say Chelsea's American supporters are the worst. I mean, you can say Everton, Liverpool, whatever. I mean, they're all shitty. As long as they're not West Ham, they suck. But Tottenham are the snootiest, fucking nose up in the air, think they're shit, whatever. I mean, they're pieces of shit. I fucking hate them all. All right.
I don't know.
All right. Cheers, Gary.
Chelsea will always piss me off, though. It's like that stupid fucking logo. Like, I hate Chelsea.
Stupid fucking logo.
Like
Tottenham's logo is stupid. Do the fucking blue cock on there, whatever it is. Rooster.
I'm not saying I like Tottenham. I just fucking hate Chelsea.
No, I know. I'm saying, which logo's worse?
I mean,
come on.
Yeah,
all right. Bird on a ball, dude.
You got me there.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Chelsea's logo is kind of stupid, but I mean, yeah. I'm just playing with you, man.
I don't know. And I think they just I don't know what it is, man. It gets under my skin so much. Like this year is pissing me off because of that, like how well they're doing so bad that like I find myself rooting for Man City right now because I don't want like the thought of Chelsea winning the league this year.
Yeah. All right, let's skip through these because I actually got another interview to do at like 1 o'clock. But let's we've already talked about your favorite previous player of all time. Pretty much, it was like you'd probably say Julian Dix, right? But this isn't the best one. This is the final question, actually. Perfect. If you could take a time machine, if you could take a time machine back to experience anything to do with West Ham, when and where would you go?
Honestly, probably that Julian Dix goal against Tottenham, that penalty. That's like my favorite celebration. That's one of my favorite videos.
Yeah.
I think I watched that more than anything. Somewhere I have that signed photo of him running up. Like, I love it, that moment, because like I guess when I was like first becoming a fan and you're watching all the videos, like catching up or whatever, and that one stuck out to me the most. This fucking mean looking bald headed dude yelling at fucking fans.
That's awesome. Yeah, honestly, that's the first time we've heard that one. We've heard, going back to the '66 World Cup,
or
like West Ham won the cup, or going back to the last game at the Bowl-In, or going, I'm saying that we've heard lots of cool, different, random stories, and it's never usually the same. I mean, we've heard the FA Cup Winners' Cup, we've heard like the 65 FA, the 1923 fucking White Horse final, whatever it was. I mean, we've heard so many different cool stories, but that one right there, man, that's a new one. I like that. That's cool that we brought these questions back, but I got to update them a little bit. But anyway, all right. Thanks, everybody in the chat. For those in the chat, I'm going to be doing another interview with another American Hammer, and a little after 1 p.m. Eastern time. And listen, Zach, thank you so much. And if you ever want to come back on and do like one of our, we do like panel shows where like, a bunch of random people talking like hammers from all over the world will be on this too. So we'll have like, dude from the UK, we'll have, wherever, you know what I'm saying? We'll have people from all over on this little chat right here. And then we'll just shoot the shit about West Ham card events, blah, 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 blah. We do those. We also, we're going to be starting the game shows again. So if you ever want to come back on and do those shows, you're more than welcome. But what we like to do is do the interview first. So we can kind of introduce you to the viewers, and then we bring you back if you're interested. Okay?
Also, real quick, we play up in Lowell a good amount. So if you're into like punk or hardcore or metal,
please let me know. Yeah, let me know. Yeah, 100%, dude. I would love to do that. Hell yeah. So I'll talk to you real quick off the air, but everybody else, stay tuned. We're going to be doing another one of these. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so. I might be running a little bit late because I need to go fucking smoke a cigarette. But all right. All right. I'll see you guys in a bit, and I'll talk to you, Zach, real quick off the air.
All right.
Come on, you Irons.